My comments on this. I can't even begin to tell you how dangerous this act is. First, it was passed in the middle of the night with 40 minutes to read an 800-page bill, which is unacceptable. As of January 1st, 2023, the following things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this. It abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. This includes, but isn't limited to, kidnapping, armed robbery, second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official, and aggravated fleeing and eluding. Offenders released on electronic monitoring have to be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement can act. They could almost drive to Alaska before we can even look for them. It denies victims their constitutional rights. And keep this in mind, businesses and homeowners. Officers will no longer be able to remove trespassers from your residence or your businesses. Someone could decide to live in your shed, and all we can do is give them a ticket. You have to decide what level of force is required to remove them and whether or not it's legal. This is a massive threat to the residents of Orland Park, Cook County, and Illinois. I want to remind voters that several elected officials that will be on the ballot in Orland Park voted for this abomination. Senator Michael Hastings, Senator Emil Jones, and Representative Justin Slaughter all voted to put criminals ahead of the safety of law-abiding citizens and police. In particular, Senator Hastings, who personally told me that that he had a family and that this bill was horrible and there was no way he would vote for it. An outright lie that, in my opinion, disqualifies him to hold his office. I will gladly cast my vote for this resolution and demand the repeal of the Orwellian-named Safe-TAct. But it doesn't end here. There is currently a bill in front of the House to remove school resource officers from our schools, which means no resource officer at Sandburg High School. The city of Chicago has already done this. I personally don't want to see the city of Chicago become the standard for how we conduct public safety, because they've abandoned their police officers and abandoned their residents and created a war zone full of criminals. There's also a bill to make fentanyl a misdemeanor in this state. And I want to remind you that we have representatives that currently represent us or will represent us potentially in the federal government that voted to not extend the fentanyl ban federally. Fortunately, it passed, but there are people that actually believe that we shouldn't have a ban on fentanyl that currently represent our community. That's just absolutely unacceptable. It's like they won't stop until they destroy our communities and our society. We all need to take a stand against this. This is a very, very dangerous bill.
You see this black box right here? Well, I'm going to show you something right now.
Well, it continued on with something else. My bad. But what the fuck is going on? I've messed up already with the whole thing. My bad. It wouldn't be an episode if I didn't. But literally, what the hell is happening in Illinois right now? This is disturbing as hell. We're gonna take a little a dive into this itself. Abel is not with us today. He's working on his own projects alone. But today we have Midwest Troublemaker from Business Party Podcast with us today. Midwest, how you doing?
What up, what up, what up? I'm fantastical. Thank God I don't live in Illinois, I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
I am Midwest Troublemaker, also known as Davey. I am Midwest Troublemaker on TikTok and MW Troublemaker on Twitter. Basically, I am new to this, and yeah, so if you think I'm an idiot, then you're right, completely. And if you don't think I know what I'm doing, strike two, you're right again. But yeah, I'm just here to make you look smarter, and yeah, about it.
Well, I don't think you can make me look smarter, but if you can, good on you.
I don't have skills for nips, so you know, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. have regular man tits.
So we had me and Abel went on Business Party Podcast last Wednesday, and we had a hell of a lot of fun. That's still there. Y'all go check that one out too. Business Party
For now on YouTube.
Oh, dude, I listened back to it, and there was a lot of shit. We just went off the rails with everything. Like, it got weird real quick.
It got real weird.
But I had a lot of fun, and I wanted you guys to. I wanted both of you back on here, but we got one half of the group. We'll definitely have you guys on because that was a hell of a lot of fun before. But
Max Redwood is on assignment with his kids' t-ball. I'll explain that one. I'll let Scott explain that one.
All right.
Why his new name might be Max Redwood.
Oh, I want to hear that
doing
now.
something that's in his pants.
I want to hear that now. All right, so green screen's all fucked up again. We will win this wars in chat. He says, "Yo, good evening. Almost 3 a.m. here, so I'm not long in here." Okay, sir, take it easy. Definitely coming up on your episode very soon. We're at 43 of 47. Need test later with you. Yeah, we could definitely do that, dude. But before we get into this, dude, what'd you think about that little video what the mayor was saying?
Listen, in panic mode. He's in full out panic mode. I mean, fentanyl, they're talking about, what is it, like a finger and you can kill a bunch of people? Like a dollop. And you
Less
can
than
just,
a gram.
I mean, it'd be a hell of a ride. I mean, that's worse than whatchamacallit? What was that stuff they were sprinkling on letters after 9/11?
Anthrax?
Asbestos? No, yeah, anthrax. It's worse than anthrax. And you're talking about decriminalizing it? I mean, I don't know how people do cocaine anymore with the threat of that. Can you imagine that ride? I remember when they were talking about putting Ajax in it just to cut it. Could you imagine fentanyl?
Oh, God.
Oh! The worst you'd have to do is deal with a nosebleed like Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction. Now, you just got to worry about dying? I'm not doing that. No siree.
I mean, it was George Floyd had 4 times the amount of lethal fentanyl running through his system at that moment in time. So,
also a professional at it, so
right?
there's a difference when some 18 or 19-year-old is drinking a handle of vodka or a 38-year-old drinking a handle of vodka. One of them can deal with it,
right?
I
don't know about a handful of vodka for me, but yeah,
a handle. My stupid fat tongue mouth.
Handle, yeah. But no, I mean, just like what he was saying, like, people could just like run up into your home and live in your shed, and there's nothing you can do about it because now all they can do is give them a ticket. Okay, it takes effect in January of 2023, January 1st of 2023, but all they can do is give them a ticket now, and you have to decide how to remove them. You have to decide if it's legal or not. Dude, that sets up a lot of shit.
I would have had this law when I was 16. All the hot girls in my school I would have been living in their garages like, yo.
What's up? How you doing?
What's up, Sandy? How you doing, baby girl? Yeah, I live here now.
No, but I mean, that's dangerous, though. If you really think about that shit, just imagine.
In Chicago, where they say the murder capital, they call it Chirac.
Oh, there's a reason they call it Chirac, yeah.
They call it Chirac, and now, come on in, enter.
They're
bad, man.
It is the murder capital of the world, and crime has skyrocketed, and now you have opened up the doors. Cashless bail on second-degree murder? What the fuck are you thinking? Oh my God. You're just going to literally just walk them into the jail, book them, and then let them go. To go out and do the shit again? Oh, what the fuck is happening right now?
We live in an upside down world. We live in where they said we were going to live in when Trump was elected. They said we were going to live in idiocracy, but we are living in it now. We're living in it. We're going to put Gatorade on plants. The plants need the Gatorade, though.
It's got electrolytes.
Oh, God.
No, that shit was supposed to be a that shit was supposed to be a stupid-ass comedy. It wasn't supposed to be a documentary. That shit takes place in 2505, not 2022, you stupid-ass sons of bitch. What is... All right. But no, I mean, this is just insane to a whole nother degree, brother. I can't understand how this is happening.
Because they just want to outdo themselves. It's just the craziest. They just want to keep going and going until they outdo themselves. Like, hey, listen, well, you guys want to outlaw abortions? We're going to outlaw crime. What?
Shit.
Wait, we don't want, people murdered, and you're just going to allow it? That guy that just got that murdered that teacher got 20 years for murder when he was 16. They let him out because a 16-year-old shouldn't do 20 years for murder, and then he murdered someone again.
I mean, that's what happens, dude. When you allow these people to do these things, that's what's gonna go down. All right. There was another one. What was that? That Democratic candidate that murdered a journalist because the journalist was writing hit piece after hit piece. Hold up. Does that mean we can go after Taylor Lorenz now and it'll be okay? Can we do that? No, I'm sorry. That's gonna. I'm a man. She's gonna write a hit piece on me now, and I'm gonna love every fucking minute of it. No, I'm too small for her to be doing that.
Yeah, thank God nobody knows who I am either. They'll find me now, though. You agreed with him when Taylor... I didn't say anything. I just stood there and went, you agreed. You didn't say anything. Oh, man. They're just trying to outdo each other. That's all it is.
There was... Jeremy Hambley had brought up something, too, with that. I know we're going off the rails a little bit, but he released a video where she was reaching out to another YouTuber about something, and she's just like, hey, we're writing a story about how your channel is full of misogyny or something like that.
Yeah.
Misogyny.
Misandry.
Words. Do you have any comment on that shit? And I'm just like, are you dumb? I mean, that's a facetious question, because we all know that's rhetorical as hell. We know you are, but that's like you asking me, are you a man? Because I'm writing a story about if you're male or not. The fuck is wrong with you? But anyway.
Didn't she give her like a half hour, or that person a half hour to respond to, or didn't she write the story already and then ask them for their comment?
Oh no, yeah, it's pretty much written, but then she asked it at like 3:00 or so, but she's like, please kindly respond. You got till like 8:00 the next day, and just like she always does, probably send it to some random ass email that he doesn't even fucking look at anymore. How many do I have that I never pay attention to? And I'm nobody.
So we reached out to Midwest Troublemaker, and he didn't respond. What email do you use? Trouble.com? Oh.
Oh, the one that doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, good job.
We used your AIM name from 1997. What?
Well, I tried. But no, it's just the whole thing.
So disingenuous too. They're so disingenuous.
Oh yeah,
with everything.
They definitely are.
Do you have a comment on misogyny? Yeah, I don't think it was misogynistic. Are you mansplaining it to me?
That's probably, yeah. He's mansplaining right now. What in his comment, because he said, "Take."
Don't think it was misogyny.
You could write a 20-page fucking letter, and she's gonna take 2 words out of it. Yeah, where he said yes. That's all she uses. But yeah,
you think it's misogyny? No, I think it's actually a man's feelings and how he feels, and he's trying to express himself. Oh, so men's feelings matter more than women's feelings then, I guess is what you're saying. Where did I say that?
That's the way they twist it. That's the way they twist it. So never fucking talk to the media. We've learned our lesson through other people that have already tried. Never talk to the fucking media. And if you do, take that shit public. Make a fucking video. Put it online with your response. Everything like that. Do whatever you fucking can to cover your tracks if you want to respond. But don't. Because it's going to be a hit piece no matter what.
Even if you don't respond, then you're guilty.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever happened to pleading the fifth meant you just didn't want to answer the question no matter what. So that way, because they can turn it into whatever they want. So this is what you mean? No, this is not what I mean. So what are you saying? Like I got into it with somebody. I made a KFC joke, and they're like, "Do you understand where the root cause of that joke came from?" And I'm like, "No, it's a joke." Like, what are we doing here? Like, we don't do jokes anymore. Like,
no.
Have rice and beans jokes at me all the time. Like, I don't care. Like, when do we become such sissies? Like,
long time ago.
And I don't like the fact that they're calling men sissies now. I don't appreciate it. Don't call me a sissy. That's not, no. Don't mansplain cis to me.
We have to talk about their pronouns, but we're called cisgender whether we like it or not. But let's get into this right quick.
Let's get back into the murder.
Yeah, let's talk about how Illinois people can murder each other and it's okay. First degree.
Well, God forbid I call you the wrong thing. Yeah, he tried to kill me. Wait a minute, did you just call me a he? That sentence.
Yep. You're going to jail. There's still cash bail involved with that. But second degree, as long as I don't premeditate it, we're good. I can just see you on the street just like that. Oh God, the dude in Memphis. Do you remember hearing about that one?
Oh, which one is that?
There was a dude in Memphis who was live streaming him going around just shooting people. It was on Facebook, I think. And then
it's always on Facebook.
Right. And then they caught him. And then apparently we were getting reports of an active shooter at the IRS building in Memphis. But apparently somebody had swatted the IRS building in Memphis because there was no active shooter. They just called in the SWAT team saying there was a shooter.
This swatting thing is just ridiculous.
Oh, good dude. Tim Pool's been done it. Jeremy Hamley. Marjorie Taylor Greene 3 times.
9 times that he'll admit or something like that, or 12 times that he'll admit that he can't admit to all of them.
Right. And an active bomb situation? Like, God. And you're telling me you can't find these people, but I guarantee you they're going to find a person that did that to the IRS.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. Probably have him in a basement right now, tickling his toes. Why'd you do this?
Because it was fun. I mean, you've done it so many times. Tim Pool, Jeremy Hambley. You can't even find a person that swatted Marjorie Taylor Greene 3 different fucking times now. But you found me tickling my toes in a basement. What the fuck?
Exactly.
All right. But yeah. All right. So we're gonna get into this here. This comes from the ICJIA. What the? It's Illinois.gov website here. 2021 Safe-TAct. ICJIA.
How they call it the Safe-TAct, yet they're letting criminals out.
It is, dude.
And they spelled it like a 90s boy band.
We are the Safe-TAct.
Safe-TAct. Coming to protect your life. No, you're not.
I live inside your garage and there ain't shit you can do.
And by Tuesday, I'm gonna live inside your skin and they're gonna let me out.
There's all kinds of fentanyl and I'm on house arrest. But hey, I can go to Alaska before they can even do anything.
That's like the whole 24 hours. You have to go 24 hours before you can be considered missing.
No, 48. 48.
48 hours before you can be considered missing?
You have to be in violation of your house arrest for 48 hours before the police can do a damn thing.
Oh my God.
Do you realize I can cut off my band and leave the United States of America in 48 hours before the cops will just be like, okay, so 10, 9, let's go. God. Okay. But yeah, this is the world we live in right now.
I wanted to make a dead queen joke so badly, but I just held myself back.
No, dude, apparently everybody's getting pissy about that kind of thing right now. Like, I mean, I don't, it's whatever.
Queen Mum, you can't make fun of the Queen Mum.
Oh, okay. We can make fun of everybody else, but trans people, black people, and the Queen. Got you. Rule set.
There's been some people going hard at her too. The liberals on Twitter, which is, you know, I love Twitter. I love it because people just say whatever they want to say. You really get a feel for how demonic people are.
Yet I was banned on Twitter for calling out the lies behind the Kyle Rittenhouse, or the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. After that shit, I was fucking banned for people saying he murdered black people. No, the fuck he didn't. They were all damn white. What are you talking about, ban? Oh my God. But yeah.
You put facts on Twitter. What are you, out of your mind?
No, we can't.
You crazy? You can't put facts on the internet. That'll get you. I mean, you can put a girl getting fisted on the internet, but facts?
Hell, you can put child pornography on Twitter.
You put child pornography on TikTok now.
Even the but even the kid trying to take it down. No, we can't do that. But you tell the truth, you're gone. But yeah, let's go ahead and read a little bit into this. It says the 2021 Illinois Safe-TAct, accountability, fairness, and equity today. Oh, so that's where they get safety from. Safety, accountability, fairness, equity today. Full stop right there. Just that, I haven't even made it through the first fucking sentence. Hold up. Safety. Okay, so I can unalive somebody with on just the notion of doing so.
No, you cannot, sir. You are too pale and too lack of melanin to do any of that. It's equity. Equity.
Accountability. Yeah, 48 hours, you're free to do whatever you want until we come looking for you.
It's the purge. It is the fucking purge.
That was only supposed to happen for 24 hours, though, man. Now we got 48.
Told you, they just keep pushing it. That's all they want to do. Push it further. Let's give them 48 hours.
Fairness. Okay, so what's fair about some dude living in your garage? And there's nothing they can do about it but give them a ticket that they're not going to pay because they're living in your garage.
Well, I went 10 miles over the speed limit today and got pulled over.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can live in somebody's garage in Illinois now. Wait. You got to wait till January for that shit. But equity. Okay. I'm not even going to touch that shit because there ain't nothing equitable about any of this.
Anytime you hear the word equity, it just means privilege. Somebody just wants privilege.
Privilege for everybody but white people. Basically, yes.
God, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm going to use that to my fullest extent. Oh, yeah.
Hold on, the Olympians.
I'm sorry, sir. You can't do anything. You can't touch me for 48 hours because I'm an Olympian.
You understand that? Y'all got to watch that episode from Wednesday from them.
You got to watch Business Party Podcast from Wednesday. You'll get that joke. I mean,
Ezekiel? Oh, yeah. I was looking at that We Will Win This War. I'm going to have to look into that more. Exactly what you were talking about from the Ezekiel reference with that. But yeah, you can go ahead and let us know in the chat exactly kind of a brief mention of what you were saying. But I'll continue until you get that going. But let's see, the Safe-TAct enacts extensive reform impacting many areas of criminal justice system. I mean, impacting? Yeah, you got a point with that. Including pre-arrest diversion, policing. Oh, it's going to be one of them days. Policing, pretrial, sentencing, and corrections. The Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority is tasked with implementing several of the Act's provisions. These areas of the Act include policing, pretrial, and deaths in custody, as well as leading and serving on task forces. What? Okay. My brain just broke. The article highlights areas of the Act, details ICJA's roles in legislation, and shares ICJIA research related to the Act's provisions. I'm not going to sit here and go through all 800 pages of this, but we ain't got that damn time. They only had 40 fucking minutes. I'm not even trying to do that in that amount of time because I'm going to read 2 or 3 pages and go tell you to go fuck yourself.
And that angers me too. Like we were talking about last time. They get 45 minutes to read this whole bill. You can't even comprehend it. 45. You can't even finish the bill reading it in 45 minutes, let alone comprehend it.
Right.
But not even that. We've read the first little bit of it, and already I just want to go, oh, hold on. Wait a minute. What about this equity thing? What makes it more safe?
Right.
What makes just going into somebody's garage and going, mine? Like, that's what they did. That's exactly what they did. They went, well, we're of a certain age. Well, tag, this is mine.
Right. That's exactly.
This is mine now. Yeah. I licked it. It's mine now.
Does that mean everything in the garage is yours? So if you store your car in there, does that make that their car then? How does any of this work? I don't get it.
Somebody stole my car. They better be Ubering to pay me back. That's all I know.
All right. But yeah.
Give me some money, motherfucker.
It's just like the omnibus spending bill. You remember that shit? Like they had like 24 hours to read over almost 6,000 pages. Not even 24 hours. They had less than that to read almost 6,000 pages of shit.
He rolled it in a cart.
Yeah.
He rolled it in on a hand cart and was just like, hey, here you go. Got a couple hours, read that.
For y'all to pay to know how much this is, okay? You know a fucking box of printer paper? Well, that's 1 1/5 of those. Yeah. And you got less than 24 hours for that. Okay, whatever. But it says it was signed into law by Governor J.B. Pritzker on January 22nd, 2021. Wait, what? How was it? And this is just now coming out. The Illinois with the Safe-TAct implements sweeping reform impacting many aspects of the criminal justice system, including pre-arrest. Did they copy and paste here? Takes effect in July 2021. Okay, so was this the original?
It's the government. It's fucking confusing. It's just like, hey, January 12th of 2014, 2012, 10/11 for guys that'll go into effect tomorrow. Huh?
Right?
What? Bingo! What the hell happened?
Dude, it's like that 14067. I mean, that was signed back in March, and it's just now getting around. It's just now getting out to the people because we've been saying so much. It's just now getting out. I mean, dude, I think I have Savannah Hernandez looking into it now, but everybody else is just like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Please. Just start listening. Please. All right.
Read. Just read it. Reading is fundamental.
10 sections.
Actually, reading is fundamentals.
No, we can't even do that. Remember, that's what is that? The culture of whiteness or some shit. That's all that shit. You can't be doing that now. That was in fucking
That is racist.
Yeah, that was that whole whiteness thing that was in some kind of a museum in DC. You remember that?
No. No, I don't remember that.
There was it was some kind of culture of whiteness. The scholar of the article is whiteness, images, maybe.
I love how they call everything
white culture. Here we go.
I love how they think, white. Everything is white culture.
But yet we have no culture.
No, nope. I was listening to Tim Pool talk about compasses and how people were like, yeah, compasses are made by the white man, and Tim Pool was like, they were made thousands of years ago by the Chinese,
right? The Asians did it, motherfucker. It's okay. Aspects and assumptions of whiteness and white culture in the United States: rugged individualism, family structure, emphasis on the scientific method. You mean how we figured out shit for all of time? History. Knowing history is now the culture of whiteness. Protestant work ethic. Okay, so actually trying to do good and excel at your job is now white culture. Religion.
Like how they say a family is white culture. So, having a mom and a dad and a brother and a sister.
Right.
That was invented by white people.
Religion. Islam is now white culture, apparently. Buddhism is now white culture. Oh, shit. But yeah, status, power, and authority. Can somebody tell Barack Obama to shut the fuck up then? Future orientation.
Like time is
being worried about time is now white culture, ladies and gentlemen. Never mind the fact that you have to worry about time to go to your job. You have to worry about time for everything. That's whiteness. Don't worry about that.
As a Puerto Rican, I'll tell you, there is Puerto Rican time because I actually just looked at it today. It made me, I was dying because Hispanic Heritage Month starts in the middle of September. It starts in the middle. Hispanic Heritage Month starts in the middle of September. Yep, link to that too.
Look, all of February is Black History Month. Then we got Pride Month and Hispanic culture. You got what, a week?
I don't know. Sorry.
Holidays. Holidays are whiteness. I don't even know what the fuck that even means. Justice is whiteness, apparently because of the Safe-TAct. Now, okay. Competition. Being the best at everything, or trying to be the best, or even trying to excel is white culture. There's more to that. Communication. Dude, this is whiteness right now. We're communicating. This is whiteness.
You know how racist this all sounds to say that people of minorities can't be on time and that minorities can't celebrate their own holidays and they can't communicate with each other? You know how racist? Don't show emotion. Don't discuss personal life. Be polite. Being polite is white?
Yeah.
So minorities are just naturally rude. I mean,
so apparently I can't
in the middle of Harlem because you might be right.
Apparently I can't even hold the door for a son of a bitch anymore. Now I have to cuss you out while I slam the door in your face. All right?
No, I mean now you gotta hold the door halfway open for a woman. You can't like fully open it because then you're a misogynist. If you close it, you're a misogynist. So you gotta hold it halfway open and just scoop your ass right in and just go hold it halfway.
But if you do that, that's fat phobic because fat people can't get through it.
Fuck them. They don't need to be in a Subway or a ice cream store, a Cold Stone Creamery. Get your ass to a gym. There you go. I'll open the door. I'll open both doors for you as we walk into a Planet Fitness, you fat fuck.
Do you need a forklift? All right. Now that we're okay, this is definitely taken down already. We ain't even made it into this. We read just like this, not even the summary, just the beginning.
We read the preamble.
says the Safe-TAct is extensive, incorporating many aspects of the criminal justice system and crime victim support. How the fuck are you supporting the victims when squatters can do whatever the fuck they want? I can murder somebody and I get released that minute. The act covers 3 areas: criminal justice reform, policing, pretrial and corrections, jails and prisons. Why don't you just abolish prisons altogether then? Oh, wait, you can't, because then you have to have a place for white people. Described in the list below. Due to the scope and breadth of the act, these are not detailed and may not be exhaustive.
We're going to write this act, but due to the scope and how people might perceive this might not be 100% what we're going to enforce.
That's what I just took away from that.
Mhm.
That's exactly what I just. Thank you, baby. That's exactly what I just heard. The fuck?
A Puerto Rican wrote this. I'm telling you, a Puerto Rican wrote this. I
didn't
swear
say
to
it.
you,
I didn't say it
because it's all. I watched 2 of my aunts argue with each other, and it was basically one aunt bought food, and the other aunt was arguing that the aunt who wasn't going to be at the party that bought the food couldn't bring the food because she wasn't going to the party, but she wanted. It's what? Huh? What happened? Yeah, exactly. That's what this is.
It says.
If I just confused you, that's exactly what this fucking act is supposed to do.
No. This act is not confusing at all. It just means if you're a law-abiding citizen, go fuck yourself. If you're a criminal, do whatever you want. It's okay, because there are very few things you will go to jail for. I mean, premeditating the unaliving of somebody, yeah, we still got to do that. But if you just run up on somebody and say, hey, you're dead. No. You just get released. But yeah, there's on this here, this is please reference the full act. I'm not going to go through all 800 pages. We try to do this as much as possible, but yeah, go fuck yourself on that. Because I'll be here all night, and I ain't got the time for that.
I don't want to punch the screen right after we get to number 4.
Dude, me and Glowy were going through that. We got through section 2 of the executive order 14067, and I was just like, section 2, I was just like, somebody needs to pay for what they're doing. And that's just putting it lightly from what I was thinking in my head. But yeah, for if you guys want to read it, it's right there. This is icjia.illinois.gov. Just put in the Safe-TAct, and this shit will come up, and you can have that link right here. That goes through the entire bill. But yeah, fuck that.
All you have to do is put in Illinois new, and it'll come up in Google.
Illinois, oh my God.
Illinois new, and then laws 2022, and it's first everything.
This comes from
put the whole thing.
Capital News, Illinois. What's in the Safe-TAct? A look at the 2021 criminal justice reform and how it evolved.
That's how it evolved, right there. That's how it evolved.
Can we just skip this article now? That's it?
That's
I
it.
mean, you got the communist fist being raised.
Yep. Yeah, that's all, folks.
Law enforcement opposition has softened since initial passage, although concerns remain. Law enforcement opposition has softened since initial. Wait. Defund the police saw an increased murder rate, an increased criminal rate, more so to the fact that there was a woman, I think it was in, where was that, New York City or something like that, where a woman was beheaded by a fucking sword.
Oh, California.
No, was that California?
It was sand. I just saw the article. It was sand. It was one of those sands places in California. I don't know. It was a sand something, and she was decapitated in the middle of the street in the middle of the day.
In broad fucking daylight, yes. Like, this is like fucking Highlander shit, all right? We're talking just like walk up, slice the fucker off, and just go. Like, You have a fucking sword. But yet guns are the problem? Okay. I guarantee you if that woman had a gun, she'd still be alive. Her head would be on her shoulders. Or if somebody in that crowd, maybe she might have been taken out, but somebody in that crowd would have done something with that guy. All right? So let's stop playing fucking games. By the way, knives are more dangerous than guns are. Because a knife can be hidden. A knife can do a lot more damage. I can run up and shank you 7 times and walk away like nothing happened.
All I can think about right now is just 2 cops sitting there watching this happen. They're eating donuts. And they just look at somebody next to them and they go, I should do something about that.
We gotta wait 48 hours.
Shit. All right. It's 12:41 on Tuesday. 12:41 on Thursday. We can go get him.
This is so stupid already. All right, so let's see. Springfield. Amid a campaign season in which every constitutional office and seat in the Illinois General Assembly will be up for vote, rising crime and landmark criminal justice reform, pressed in 2021, have become dominant topics for Republicans trying to loosen Democrats' hold on state government. No, you're doing that yourself. You're doing that yourself. All Republicans really have to do is just say, hey, I'm opposed to this. And that's it. That's their whole platform. I'm opposed to this. I'm now the governor. Okay. The Safety Accountability Fair to the Safe-TAct, whatever, passed in the backing of Illinois' legislative Black Caucus. I thought I fucked that up. But no. Illinois'
BC,
legislative
baby.
Black Caucus. I'm
Black
not
Caucus.
racist because that's what the hell they say. In the early hours of January 13, 2021, the broad-ranging measure abolishes cash bail beginning in January 2023, reforms police training, certification and use of force standards, expands detainee rights, and requires body cameras at all departments by 2025. I love how they play that shit the fuck up. It sounds good. The way they wrote that, it sounds good. Reforms police training. Oh, well, we can't look for you for 48 hours. Oh, ticket this dude for living in your garage. Hey, this dude just randomly killed somebody. Let's take him to jail and just let him go. Yeah, that's your police training that's being reformed now. Use of force standards. So, I mean, what is that now? Use of force. Can I pull your hair still? Is that a thing? Can I do that? If you're trying to run away,
maybe.
Can I grab your hair? No, that's too much. That's police brutality. Okay, fuck. Expands detainee rights. Yeah, by letting them the fuck out of jail. That's all you're saying to me.
Well, now you can't. Now, whatchamacallit, resisting arrest. It's just nothing. You can't. It means nothing anymore. You can resist arrest and just go scot-free. And then all of a sudden it becomes the cop's problem. All of a sudden the cop goes to jail because you were resisting arrest. And, no, you can't touch me. Stop touching me. Stop touching me. You can't touch me. No. And all of a sudden, now the cop goes to jail because he was trying to do his job.
Right. Dude, back when the 2020 riots and defund the police and everything was happening here in Alabama, they were actually talking about if a cop was trying to arrest somebody for any crime whatsoever, if they turned their back and started to walk away, you cannot arrest them. They were talking about that shit. And we were just like, no, hold the fuck up. Because I could just straight up just walk into there and just mow down motherfuckers and cops come to get me. If I have my back turned, you can't do shit. No.
A little kid, like a little kid playing hide and seek. You can't see me.
Right.
No. Not here anymore.
Stupidity.
What the? You know, remember the scene in Liar Liar when the lady's like, yeah, my friend, some guy tried to rob her and he cut himself on a butcher knife and she ended up paying him $5,000. He's like, I could have got him 10. It's a reality now.
Right. Yes.
It's a reality now. Like, it's insane. It's insane how you could be a criminal get killed doing criminal stuff, and your family gets millions of dollars. Mind you, everybody forgets this. When they go, well, we'll sue the city, we'll sue the police station, we'll sue everybody we can.
Only if they're black.
Wait, where does that money come from? Oh, that's right, the tax dollars. Yeah, all our tax dollars. Yeah. So not only do they have to pay these people with their tax dollars, now the police, all those budgets have to go back up to make up for everything they just lost.
And where does that money come from? You. But yeah. Okay, the body camera thing, I can understand. That's actually a great thing. I will admit that. The body camera things, but then again, they turn that shit off a lot. Since its passage, the measure has been amended twice to accommodate concerns of law enforcement groups pushing back certain effective dates and changing some of the initial use of force language. Proponents say that the reform is a step toward making the justice system equitable and fair for Black, Latino, and minority communities. Well, fuck me in the ass, dude. You won't even get time for that. Jesus Christ. Who have been disproportionately harmed by it. There are some laws I will agree with, but second-degree murder should never have been touched. Can we agree on that? Everybody in America, can we agree on that? There is no reason I need to run up and just unalive somebody, be booked in the jail, and released right then and there.
Can't even agree that abortion is killing somebody. You think we can agree that second-degree murder is,
Fair point. Fair point.
Listen, I don't care if you're pro-choice or you're not. I mean, I'm not pro-choice, but you're still killing somebody. Yes. Like, at least admit that. Okay, yes, it is killing somebody. Yes, I want to kill somebody. Okay, fine. I know you're a disgusting person, but still, second-degree murder?
Yes. Even if abortion is illegal, at least admit you are killing a human life. We can move the fuck on. We can go through the moralities of it later. Fine, at least you admit the whole fact that you're killing somebody. Huh.
It's a clump of cells. Yes, we're all a clump of cells, you moron. You talk
I got billions of me right now.
Yeah.
There are billions in this whole setup. Probably more atoms of not cells, not human cells, but there are more atoms in what I'm running right now to bring this to you than there are in my body. All right, fuck.
You know that thing H2O? Oh yeah, those cells. That's what you're 70% of.
What was that? What was it? Dihydrogen monoxide?
Oh, water?
Yeah.
It's got dihydrogen monoxide in it.
Yeah, you go around telling people that. See how they react. Dihydrogen monoxide. That's all you got to say. Did you know there's dihydrogen monoxide in everything that you drink? See how they react. It's in a phone interview with Capital News, Illinois. House Chair in the Illinois Legislative Black Caucus, Rep. Cam Buckner, Democrat of Chicago. How am I not surprised? So the Safe-TAct was in the first step. Was the first stab. Bad wording. Bad wording. It's the first stab.
This isn't a comedy seller. You're a fucking public servant, you jackass.
At addressing public safety issues and police distrust in minority communities. I don't think that was the first stab. Maybe the first stab was what they were called for. That's just my two thoughts. There is no such thing as perfect legislation, but I think all legislation can be perfected if it's handled the right way. This is not the right way. Republicans, meanwhile, have referred to this bill as a de facto defund the police bill. Yes, due to its added training and equipment requirements and purported effect of the officer morale, even though it does directly affect law enforcement funding. No, I mean, it doesn't reflect the funding. Y'all are the
We're gonna
stupid sons of bitches.
we're gonna fund the police by defunding the police, or we're gonna defund the police by funding the police. Makes sense?
We're gonna defund the police by letting people do crimes, and then, man, we can't do shit till 48 hours. What is it? The first 48? Like, if somebody dies, like, it's the first 48 hours to find the person. If that, it goes cold. Maybe that's what it's about. I don't.
Yeah.
The measure passed on a razor-thin majorities in lame duck session in 2021, which led to a brief effort by Republicans superminorities to repeal the act that ultimately fell flat. Law enforcement groups have since softened their opposition to the bill amid the two follow-up proposals. Let me make it clear to you that the Illinois Association of Chief of Police is not against the Safe-TAct, but we put countless hours into collaborating with elected officials. Huh? Wait. You're not against letting people kill each other, but you're collaborating with elected officials. Y'all are spineless as fuck. Jesus Christ, we got Democrats going off the fucking rails saying, hey, now we can just kill each other in Illinois. It's fine. And everybody's just like, hold on. Let's just walk it back right now. What the fuck is wrong? Can y'all not stand up, grow a pair of fucking balls, maybe a spine, just a spine? You don't even have to have nuts dangling between your fucking legs. Just the spine to be like, y'all are stupid. And here's why. For once. Oh, wait. No, they can't do that because then you get attacked like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert or Carrie Lake. Why are all these women, but yet the patriarchy is the problem? That just clicked into my fucking brain. The ones that are making moves on the Republican Party are women, and they're going after the women, but yet men are the problem. The fuck?
Same thing as black people being white supremacists.
All right.
It baffles my mind. Candace Owens is a white supremacist. Candace Owens is, I don't know if you noticed, but Candace Owens.
Larry Elder is a blackface of white supremacists while a white woman in a gorilla mask throws eggs at him. Just take that in for a second, ladies and gentlemen.
Funny picture, though. The picture is hilarious.
Let that marinade for a minute. All right. Let me make it clear to you that the Illinois... oh, yeah, we already read that. Davis is the president of the Illinois Association Chief of Police during the bill's passage. Of
course it's a Pollock.
I didn't say it.
Wojcicki. Ed Wojcicki.
Wait, is he related to Susan Wojcicki? I mean, she's the CEO of YouTube and the reason why everybody gets the platform.
The executive director of the organization said that the ship has sailed. Full repeal, although discussion of fine-tuning the law continued. I don't like. I don't like when they just. Oh no, the discussion is continued. That just means bend over a little farther, and we're gonna stick it in a little harder.
This is not just the tip. This is balls fucking deep.
Balls, it's your fucking kneecaps, son.
With no lube. Unless we're using your blood as lube. If that's a thing. We're perfectly fine with saying, hold us more accountable, but make us transparent. Requiring more training. We just tried to educate the legislature that what they wrote down in the law was very difficult to implement on the street. So, wait. I'm going to read that one more time. We're perfectly fine with saying hold us more accountable, make us be transparent, require more training. We just tried to educate the legislature that what they wrote down in the law was very difficult to implement on the street. Okay, so this bill says do absolutely fucking nothing to any fucking crime. And that's difficult to implement on the street? Or are you talking about what's difficult to implement on the street is enforcing the fucking law?
This is why I say the people of today who are left-leaning say words that try to make them sound smart.
Oh, God.
They do. Pontification of the ratification of the Indian nation of your pontificated bloatedness in the sarcastic of the righteous. What the fuck are you talking about?
The spontaneous nature of the pudding pups. All right.
What would you do hoo-hoo for a Klondike bar?
I'm so fucking done with life, dude. I'm glad I live in a red state.
Too. Well, I live in a blue state. I live in a red state with a blue governor. I don't know, man. It's messed up here.
You're still
It's messed up. Yeah, well, overall. Shit.
And y'all wonder why everybody's moving to Texas and Florida.
In the middle of the United States. They just move into the middle. I'm fine here. I love it where I am. I don't care. Everybody's like, oh, in the middle it's just nothing but flat. That's right. I can see everybody coming, bitch.
Look, I've ragged on Governor Kay Ivey. We call her Governor Mima. I've ragged on her. I'd rather have that bitch than this bitch. I'd rather have that bitch than fucking Addison Mitchell McConnell.
Oh, you can't have this.
The turtle-looking motherfucker. All right. The provision does not go... Oh, wait. Cash bail. One or more controversial provisions of the bill abolish cash bail in Illinois and replaces it with a system that will prioritize the severity of an offense, the risk of not appearing for court, and the threat and danger of the individual poses to another person or the community if they were to be released. Wait. Second-degree murder. You remove cash bail for second-degree murder. How does that not threaten danger to the community?
I'm speechless. I have lost all speech. This is... So what are they going to replace it with? Bartering? Just bring some... I'll trade you a car for my freedom. I'm so confused.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the episode tonight, because there ain't shit left to say. The provision does not go into effect until January 1st, 2023, but opponents claim it will allow dangerous and violent criminals back on the street. Yes, tying the hands of prosecutors who seek to keep the accused individuals incarcerated before it can... I'm sorry. If you want to alive somebody just out of nowhere, I want your ass behind bars. Either that, or you're unalived as well. Either way, I don't care. But yet,
listen,
for me, I would go to jail if I did that.
Are there some people that are convicted and truly weren't there or truly didn't commit the crime? Yeah, I believe.
Yes.
There are a lot.
Yes.
But that's the problem with the justice system is you have to fix that. We have technology, like we said, there's technology that if one of us said something stupid, they can come knock on our door. Okay? But you can't find the person who put bombs in DC on January 5th. Like, I don't know.
Nobody's talking about this.
That
was mentioned. That was the reason why AOC went on her rant about, oh, I was going to be unalived. I felt like I was going to be raped, and the police officer, where is she? That was the reason why she did all that shit. Not the rioters that happened at least an hour after all that incident. The fucking bombs at the DNC and RNC. What the fuck? And y'all forget about that shit. Nobody said anything about that. Okay.
Yeah, we have to fix the system, and I get it. They really do. They really have to fix the system. How? I have no idea. But it's got to be fixed. And nonviolent criminals. There's a catch-22 with that, because you go with somebody who's selling weed or whatnot. It's a nonviolent offense. Yes, I get that. Give them a fine. But then it starts with that person selling weed, and then all of a sudden now they have a gun on them, and now all of a sudden end up killing somebody, and they become then they become a violent criminal. Eventually, it doesn't just. Here's the thing: everybody thinks that it just goes from 1 to 1,000,000 real quick. It doesn't. It slowly starts. So you selling drugs, and all of a sudden now you get robbed, and now all of a sudden now you got to carry a gun with you, and then now you carry a gun with you, and you try to get robbed again, and then you shoot somebody and you kill somebody. It goes in increments. It doesn't just go. I'm going to carry a gun because I'm selling drugs.
Right.
For the most part, anyway. I didn't carry a gun when I sold mine. What happened? Who? No.
Yeah, they were in a boating accident. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it just you gotta. Giuliani had it right in New York. It's the broken windows thing, where you start with the guys who are breaking the windows, and look at the people dodging the turnstiles in New York now. Now there's people dodging the turnstiles, and they're starting fights, and they're killing people, because you can't do anything to a guy. He just jumping the turnstiles. Yeah, look how many people jump turnstiles and become violent.
right. But the turnstiles don't stop shit. Let's just be honest. I mean, they don't. They're just there to rake in money for anybody who really feels like paying $50, $60, $70 to ride a train for 20 minutes.
It's
every day.
Gross. It smells like piss, and
there is literally people pissing and raping each other on New York subways. Look into that shit. If you think I'm joking, look into it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've seen it. I'd have peed on a rail myself.
not the third rail.
No, definitely not the third rail. Shocking.
I mean, we were talking to the Zoto, a gaming friend of mine, about the New York crime rate, and the dude was just like, literally, dude, I just don't see any difference from what we normally do, yet the crime rate is up double fucking digits in New York, and I'm just like, dude, what do you mean? How do you not know?
And that's the reported crime rate.
Right.
Okay. They're doing things to circumvent some things, so they don't have to, because once again, you defund the police. Now the police don't want to write these reports, or you're hiring lazy cops, or you're hiring them at what, $40,000-$50,000 a year to be in the worst neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're gonna overlook a shit ton of stuff, because I'm not getting murked for $50 a year. You're out of your mind.
Hell no.
They do it, and they do it intentionally. There's actual stories of they will send the new guys into the worst neighborhoods because the older guys don't want to fucking have to deal with that. They're on their way out. So the new guys making $50 a year are just sitting there going, "You want to go do that? No. You want? No. We'll just sit in the car."
Dude, the funniest part about that whole me and him talking about that whole conversation we had is I had brought up the shopping cart killer and the duffel bag killer. Like, there were people literally chopping up bodies, stuffing them in duffel bags and shopping carts and leaving them places. And he's just like, it happens. What the fuck? No, it doesn't happen. I remember when Jack the Ripper is still famous, and you're just trying to say the shopping cart killer is somebody it happens. No, what? Oh. But anyway,
They made a whole show about it called Law and Order SVU. They're all real, and look how many fucking seasons there are. They haven't even scratched the surface.
Zodiac killer? Apparently that's a thing now. Representative Justin Slaughter is Chicago Democrat who carried the Safe-TAct in 2021 in April. He accused Republicans of a bad stench of there it is. Buzzword. Yep. Bad stench of racism. So apparently it's racist for hauling a black person into jail for killing another person.
Hold on. That's the racist thing right there. Saying that it will be a black person who are going to commit the crimes is why he's the racist.
Well, statistics.
But facts don't
Feelings
care
over
about
feeling, or feelings over facts. Yeah.
Exactly.
Fuck.
So saying the bad stench of racism by this gentleman proves that he's the racist for saying that, because automatically he thinks it's the minorities who are going to be affected the most by this.
Dude, even AOC said she didn't want to marry her fiance because she doesn't feel like she should be in an interracial, intercultural marriage.
But she should marry her brother like Ilhan Omar?
Can we make that happen? No. She actually did that. You know, with the whole, I don't know if I'll be alive in September. I don't know if I want to be in an interracial marriage. But yet she's the one screaming, "You're racist."
She's the one who's also talking about millionaires while she's driving around New York City in a Tesla.
In a fucking infinity pool on the top of her goddamn penthouse. But yeah, eat the rich. Okay. Shall we take that literally? Because no, I don't want to cook her. I don't want anything to do with her.
Big booty Latina.
I'm sorry, Alex Stein, but you were infatuated with a... Moving on. I can't say that on YouTube. Representative Justin Slaughter. Oh yeah, we already. Bad stench of racism in their opposition to reform. In an interview, he said the current system and the cash bail has an adverse impact on those that don't have the money. Okay, I'm all for it. And I don't mean to make that sound bad, but if you kill me or anybody, I don't care how much money you have, you shouldn't be getting out of jail.
Come on, didn't their grandma teach them, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime?
No. That's a whole generation ago. I mean, fuck. Oh, Smokey the Bear? Fucking wildfires being set in California. Did anybody remember only you can prevent forest fires? Apparently no.
No.
If this is a violent and dangerous offense, we certainly want to hold offenders accountable, but at the same time, we want to have an understanding of the root causes of crime and violence, Slaughter said. But Republicans and some state attorneys have lately been arguing that the opposite may be true. Let's just read that again. If this is a violent, dangerous offense, we certainly want to hold offenders accountable, but at the same time, we want to have an understanding of the root causes of crime and violence. But Republicans, MAGA, ultra MAGA, nuclear MAGA Republicans, think that the opposite is so true. Let's read that backwards. We want to have an understanding of a violent, dangerous offense, but we certainly want to hold offenders accountable of the cause and crime of violence. What? That's literally
But Republicans!
What are you saying to me?
Nothing! I told you! They don't say nothing!
God damn, son.
It's all doublespeak. All doublespeak.
James Glasgow, a Democratic Will County state's attorney, argued that the Safe-TAct requires a higher burden of proof to detain accused violent criminals until trial. So, if a cop sees a person murder a person, if anybody in a crowd sees a person murder a person and there's overwhelming evidence, you have the bloody clothes at your house, like the Democratic candidate that murdered that journalist. I mean, you're still innocent until proven guilty, yes, but is that overwhelming evidence to bring you the fuck in or not? Because I'm going to say yes.
If the glove don't fit, you must have quit, son.
Yeah, but then that motherfucker went on to say women should have control of their own bodies.
Dude, OG on Twitter is probably the best thing ever. Ever.
Dude, I saw that video and I fucking lost it. He's just like, women should have the right to have a say in their own bodies. I was like, y'all motherfuckers already lose. This dude's on your side. He killed his wife for fucking another fucking dude and got off because the glove doesn't fit.
Decapitated his wife. He decapitated. He
and ran around in a fucking Bronco for hours on end. Like this dude, and he's...
Woman has a right to do what they want with their body, unless I want to take her head off. Oh, to the world.
For fucking another dude. I am so... This is society, ladies. There are people that don't even know O.J. Simpson shit, all right? There are people who don't even know Ozzy Osbourne is a fucking rock star. You remember that shit, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was on, what was it, Post Malone's thing, and everybody's like, I don't know who this Ozzy is, but he's going to be a star. You son of a bitch, he had a fucking reality show. It was on MTV.
Character is, but Post Malone's going to make him a millionaire.
Yeah, he had a fucking reality show on MTV. It was called The Osbournes. The son of a bitch is famous for biting the head off a bat. Everybody. Okay, not everybody.
Remember good reality shows? Remember when Real World, where people actually slapped each other and actually disliked each other, and now it's everybody trying to fuck each other?
The Real World,
yeah, say that's
Real World Road Rules Challenge. Yeah, that shit. That was actually reality TV. That was pretty fucking good.
Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne was actually like, you know, when he really, hi Sharon, who depicted the dog shit.
There were like only 2 words out of an entire paragraph he could get right, but yet this son of a bitch could sing like nobody else. Like, how the fuck? I don't get it. Anyway. Let's see. The Safe-TAct states that all defendants shall be presumed eligible for pretrial release unless prosecutors present clear and convincing evidence to deny the suspect pretrial release, such as proof that the suspect committed the crime and poses a threat to physical safety of a specific identifiable person. So the dude that went on a rampage and on Facebook shooting motherfuckers in Memphis, is that proof? Is that sufficient proof? No, because anybody could be behind that camera. Even though he showed his face every time he did that shit, anybody could be behind the camera. At the moment it could have been another video of somebody else doing something. You don't know.
And I love living now.
Do you?
No!
Prosecutors are required to submit a request for detention if the officer committed a crime. Oh, if the offender, I'm sorry. We might as well say if the officer. If the offender committed a crime that poses a significant threat to public safety of an individual or community. Second-degree murder. The state also requires to provide each suspect a hearing within 24 or 48 hours to determine if the suspect should be released. Okay.
How could you have a hearing in 48 hours if you can't go after the motherfucker until 48 hours?
Thank you.
What?
Do y'all see this dumb shit yet? Of course you do. I mean, if you're still paying attention, of course you see this dumb shit. This is what 2020 sparked, ladies and gentlemen. The whole defund the police shit. This is what it fucking sparked. And now we're seeing the fucking fallout of that. You were talking about we got to fix the system. I don't know how to do that. I know how to do that. You got to cut out the rot, root, and fucking stem. Guess where the roots are? Highest level of government that spur this kind of shit the fuck on.
This is why local elections matter more than the presidential election, more than senators, governors. These local politicians, these local votes matter more than any of this, because then you get crap like this. And I really don't understand how these people keep getting reelected. I don't understand how Nancy Pelosi gets reelected. I don't understand how Mitch McConnell keeps getting reelected. I don't get how these people, I mean, I do get it because they're corrupt and it's all about money and it's the two-party system and they all jackpotted together. I understand that. But I don't get how people allow this shit to keep happening.
Dude, have you seen anything on the Crystal Matthews, the Democratic candidate for, I think it's North Carolina or South Carolina? Have you ever seen anything in her?
No.
This woman, Project Veritas has released a couple of things on her. This woman is talking to a prison inmate about bringing the duffel bag money, which is drug dealing money, to pay for her car or to pay for her campaign. This woman is saying you need sleeper agents to run as Republicans so that we can do whatever the fuck we want. This woman literally is, they just came out with some more about her where she's telling the same dude that you need to treat white people like shit.
Oh, yes,
and
I saw that. I didn't know that was her name. That was her name, yes.
Crystal Matthews, Krystle Matthews. Look her up. And she's winning. How?
I was like, what I say, Hank Johnson from, I believe, I think he's in North Carolina also. He said that he thought Guam, if there's too many people on one side of Guam, that it'll tip over. This man won 99% of his district. 99% of his district.
That's not surprising, because there are videos floating around where people just think like Homo sapien is some kind of extinct animal now, or they're endangered animals.
You see the videos on YouTube of the people going around asking, how many what is it? Amendments are in the Bill of Rights? And they go, 40?
Yeah.
Who was the first president? Bill Clinton?
My wife's best friend is a Filipino woman who actually had to take the immigration test and everything. We helped her study for that. She knows more about U.S. history than 85% of the kids today.
Everybody outside the United States knows about our history better than the people in this country.
Point taken. This is, oh my God, this is so goddamn dumb.
I really want to, I really, next time I talk to my kid, she's 19, I'm going to ask her if she knows what the importance of Hiroshima and Nagasaki are, and I want to record what she says. Because I guarantee you, she will have no idea.
All you have to do is just say fat man and little boy.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I forgot the little boy. I knew it was fat man. So I said Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah, bring them both up. Just be like, what is the historical significance of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan? And you're not going to get an answer, probably, because our education system fails us. And then just say, okay, what was Fat Man and Little Boy? Some kind of superheroes?
Is that your rap group, Dad, when you were younger?
if that's the case, man, you need to start. You need to sit your kids down and be like, "Hey,
I lost that fight a long time ago. Well,
then again, when I was growing up, like, I'd literally a year or two behind me, like I was learning about World War II and everything in middle school. You know, a year or two behind me, I was talking to people a year or two behind me one time, and they were talking about Hitler. These motherfuckers had it all wrong. I'm not even playing. They were on the side of denying that the Holocaust existed. This was a year or two after I had learned about it. They're changing history within our schools, dude.
I say this is the dumbest smart generation ever. They have so much information at their fingertips that they know nothing.
The world's information in the palm of your hand, and you refuse to fucking use it. But yet, we just want to look at TikTok videos.
Well, that's what you heard it on TikTok. They're showing kids in Japan and China and all that. They're showing them math TikToks and TikToks about history and all that, while they have the kids here doing the renegade and looking at big giant hooties and butts.
Little cat videos, yeah. That is it is purposely fucking designed that way. Like, okay, me, Midwest, like I said, there's a group of us. We've all actually met from TikTok. We are fighting back against that. I will admit I haven't played around on TikTok for a while. I have to take a break from that stupidity.
I played around on TikTok and got married.
Shit.
Yeah.
How many times now?
This is number 2. This is the last one. I don't have strength anymore. She got me in the middle of Kansas where I want to be. Listen, I'm very happy with my marriage now. My wife is amazing.
I hope it goes well, but
yeah, she's given me everything that I wanted. So I am a very happy person. I sound like I'm saying that by gunpoint, but yeah. I have a headache. This article has given me a headache. My brain, what I have left of it, is hurting. Between that and doing our liberal logic 101 TikToks, dude, my brain is fried.
Y'all should get Ashley involved with that one then.
Listen, she's more than welcome. Give her, let her know. Give her our contact information. We will let her in because, dude, my brain is so rattled from trying to think from a leftist point of view. And I used to be a leftist. I used to think gun control was a great thing.
But yes, I used to be on that side as well. But no, I'm serious. She would be great for you because have you seen her videos where she's just like, so let me get this straight. That kind of shit. Dude, she'd be fucking perfect for it.
It's fun. But in the same time, it's aggravating. Like, I want to punch the screen as I'm recording some of these videos. It's just so... I can't. Like, I had an argument with my dad because I went down to Georgia to meet my wife, and I was going down to Georgia to my cousin's wedding during, I guess, the height of the pandemic. And literally, he's arguing me and telling me I'm stupid for going down to Georgia for this stuff. Meanwhile, behind him is a BLM march. I said, wait a minute. I'm stupid for going down to Georgia. Just turn around. Turn around. What's going on behind you? Having a BLM march. Yeah, but they have a purpose for doing that. And I go, the virus doesn't know that. Oh, that's right. The virus will stop because it's like, no, we can't attack BLM. We can't attack BLM just like the police. We're not allowed to attack BLM. Like, I'm like, are you out of your mind?
Dude, do you remember those articles that were trying to say, during the whole COVID thing, like BLM marches are fine. COVID dies during BLM marches, but Republican rallies are super spreader events.
You remember when
Y'all motherfuckers are twerking and literally fucking in the middle of the street. That's fine.
Remember when Dum Dum got elected and they were sharing bottles of wine and sharing bottles of champagne and dancing and hooping and hollering? Meanwhile, they're like, well, really people shouldn't be with their neighbors and
we're
making out in the middle of the street because Joe Biden won, and you're telling me I can't go to my neighbor's house? The red states are killing people.
We're locked in our homes. We gotta have gloves and masks and sanitize everything. And good luck getting food. But these motherfuckers are huh? No, that kills the virus.
You know where most people didn't get the virus? At Trump rallies. You know where most people got the virus? BLM marches, because they all got vaccinated and wore a mask. What makes you think wearing a mask all day and breathing in the same air all day is not going to make you more sick? Yes, believe the science, folks. Believe the science.
Not to mention the fact that disinfecting everything all the time, lowering your immune system because you're not coming in contact with these things that your immune system attacks to strengthen it. Yet you wonder why people were locked in their homes for getting COVID.
Hey, you remember when we were growing up, peanut allergies didn't exist? You know why? Because we were shoving peanuts in our face.
Right.
Now all of a sudden everybody's allergic to everything. Why? It's because they're taking away all this shit.
Well, okay.
Don't bring the peanuts into school. Don't bring this into school. Don't bring that into school. You can't bring this into school. Everybody's allergic to it.
There are some things, sometimes that is an actual thing, because like I used to drink milk all the time. I love milk. But now, like, dude, I feel like I'm lactose intolerant or something, because even if I drink the milk after a bowl of cereal, I wind up puking. Like, I get so much heartburn and just like my gut just wants to just everything. So there is something to that. But yes, the less you come in contact with something, the less you're going to be tolerant of something.
When I'm angry at my wife, I don't like. I used to like get angry. Because I'm from Jersey, so I got that Jersey in me. My wife's from the Midwest. She doesn't have that in her. I have it in me. So I've had to learn to reevaluate and retrain different. Get my anger out in a different way. So now I don't get mad. I'll just drink milk, and then it's on at night while we're sleeping. And all of a sudden, her nostrils flare up, and her nose hairs are on fire because, yes, the lactose farts have come out. And I just sit there and I giggle like a little girl. I don't get angry anymore. I just drink milk and put her nose hair on fire.
The passive aggressiveness of that was fucking amazing. Okay. All right. Glasgow says it's nearly impossible to provide evidence needed within 48 hours, since it takes time to review bodies, surveillance cameras, and crime labs to take the process of evidence. I'm not against no bail for nonviolent crime. Neither am I. But when it's protecting the health, safety, and welfare of law-abiding citizens, we have to be able to do that. I agree. Glasgow sounds like he's got some kind of form of common sense going on in his brain. Great. In a phone interview, Senator John Curran, a Republican Downers Grove, who is former prosecutor, said that instead of eliminating cash bail altogether in Illinois, he would prefer a model similar to one in place in New Jersey, which permits cash bail in narrow circumstances. Curran said that such a system would ensure that the individuals who are threats to safety of communities are being held. I mean, okay, I have to agree with Glasgow there. Nonviolent crimes, yeah, okay. Cashless bail, get them out. They ain't doing nothing. There's nothing that's actually hurting somebody in any way. that's fine. And I'm not talking about like, oh, okay, nonviolent drug offenders. Okay, fine, let them go. However,
if I'm sitting at home smoking a J and you bust in my house,
right?
I mean, come on.
However, I will admit that, you know, drug offenders would be like people selling. Now, you could argue there is a point to the harm in that as well, because if you're selling crack and or fentanyl and meth and all this other shit, you are actually hurting somebody. So that would not be a nonviolent crime.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. I would allow all drugs to be legal, right? On a federal level.
Peru.
But then you can federally carry anywhere. Because if these people get violent, and there are drugs where people become violent, you're gonna have to take that person out.
Right. I can see where that could get muddy, though.
Listen, you don't think this is not mid-second degree murder or listen, this garage is mine
muddy.
now.
This isn't muddy. This is just straight up scorched earth at this point. But yeah,
there's no fairground. There's no fairground with this.
No.
All the criminals get to do whatever they want. Law-abiding citizens are just sitting there and take it.
It's kind of like the same thing where you remember the BLM riots, BLM riots, and everything. Like there was that story where they thought there was two kidnapped girls in somebody's house, but they set the dude's house on fire while he was in there. Supposedly the kids were in there too. Like, why would you set their house on fire when the dude and the kids are in there and you're trying to save it? It makes no sense. But the fire department comes, puts out the fire, and they leave. And they start harassing this dude again. This dude actually gets out a shotgun, points it out the window. They arrest the dude defending his home. He was inside his home, pointed the shotgun out the window. Maybe not the best move, but fuck, they set this dude's house on fire.
I was just going to say, they set his house on fire.
They were already trying to kill him. If he'd have run out of the house, they'd have killed him. If he'd have stayed in the house while the house was on fire, they'd have killed him. So he points the gun out the window. The cops arrest that fucker. And then they still burn his house down.
Did you see the video of the transgender trying to meet a young boy at the park?
Yes.
And then the guy who was capturing him on film and asking him questions, the cops questioned that guy.
Right.
And they were saying that they were harassing him.
They let the fan of the playground lurker, whatever you want to call it, they let the pedophile fucking go. I am so fucking done with society. Y'all have gone. Like, I know common sense is a superpower, but there are no neurons firing in society any fucking. We have gone beyond idiocracy. We have gone to, like, single-celled amoebas have more brains than y'all motherfuckers do. And I don't mean y'all isn't the ones watching, but you get what I'm saying. All right, I got the drunken burp snap. But, yeah. Let's go on to detainee rights, because this is... I know you have a headache, but we're about to have an aneurysm.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this soon because I gotta eat. I still haven't eaten. I came straight home and went straight on here.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, an hour and 39. Okay, let's just finish this article.
All right.
We can do that real quick. Detainees' rights. No, maybe we can't. We'll just hit the highlights of this. Detainees' rights. The Safe-TAct also establishes the right of an individual in police custody or who is moved from one place of detention to another to make 3 phone calls within 3 hours after arriving at a new place of custody. Okay. I will agree with that. Because you get that one phone call, what if they don't answer? Then you're fucked. I'll agree with that. That's fine. Great. During floor debate of House Bill 3512, one of the follow-up measures, Minority Leader Jim Durkin, a former prosecutor, we don't have to go into his history. I don't know when he was born and shit. Raised concerns that the 3 phone calls will allow the offender to call the victim and scare the hell out of them to prevent the victim from pressing charges. I'm sorry, but when I get a call from this prison system wants you to collect calls, I'm gonna hang the fuck up. Unless it's somebody I know.
Call from John at the Mercer County Police Correctional Facility. Would you accept the call? Sure. Yeah. Isn't that the guy that tried to murder me? Yeah, sounds good.
Well, still, I mean,
so not only is he going to call to harass you and threaten you, but now you have to pay for it
on a recorded line. Number one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, maybe I might take that call just to be like, how are you going to kill me? You're behind fucking bars. Oh, I'm going to get out. Okay. Well, I'm glad I live in a stand your ground state. Let's see how far that goes.
Let me know exactly when you're going to be here. I'll make sure I have the door open for you.
Well, let's put it this way. You best pack a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and make sure there's a body bag, because it also sounds good that a blood eagle is in my front yard.
Dude, I have thought about what I would do if someone threatened me and actually showed up at my house. Dude, I would, first of all...
I've been doxxed.
First of all, you're going to have to come at me while I'm naked. That might be hard.
I've been doxxed by a liberal white woman. No, this was during the abortion thing. I was doxxed by a liberal white woman on TikTok who came from that what was it, that Ruth Sent Me or some shit group. Like my information is out there. Like, I don't care, because as soon as they were just like, "Oh, is this you? Is this your address?" I was like, you might want to look into the state laws here, because yeah, I got more than what you can defend against. Bring an army, and you best hope that if I'm not home, the police find you first. That ended that shit.
My wife said, "Hey, you want to move to Kansas? It's constitutional carry." Before she got constitutional out, I went,
yep.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah. Let's see. Durkin said that without proper restrictions in the place of phone calls, it could lead to a witness tampering and intimidation, particularly in domestic violence situations. No, I don't see how that could be a thing. Witness tampering and intimidation. If the motherfucker's behind bars already, you give me a phone call, I get released, and I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm immediately going there. This son of a bitch just called.
Read the next sentence. The next paragraph. But the bill states that only calls made to the public defender or other attorney can't be monitored, eavesdropped upon, or recorded.
Problem is what now? I mean, I can understand the public defender or attorney kind of situation. That is attorney privilege. Yeah, that is that. I can understand that. Anybody else? Crystal Matthews. How the fuck did we get that information? Slaughter said in an interview that the elected officials can't dictate who the individual can call, but they can ensure that the detainees have access to communication when in custody. People need to know what happens. What's happening, and that you are moving from one place to another, and that you get access to communication, Slaughter said. Okay. Record of phone calls can be made when an individual is in custody, but must maintain, and if no calls are made, the detainee must give a written statement to the police as to why they did not make any calls. Okay. Okay, I'm okay with that. 3-hour requirement for phone calls does not apply when the individual is asleep, unconscious, or complying with offer.
I'm just thinking. Yeah, he didn't make his phone call. He was asleep for 24 hours. Yup. Good night.
Yeah, because he was not complying.
He was not complying. He was a bit unconscious, Your Honor.
Yeah. The dude
I
went to
was
sleep.
talking-
Yeah.
I was talking to a cop. I was talking to a cop one time, and he worked in the jail, and he was in the elevator with a criminal, and criminal kept spitting at him. He said, "Dude, you gotta stop." The criminal just kept going and spitting at him, spitting at him. All of a sudden, the door opened, and the criminal just fell to the floor. And they go, "What happened?" And the cop goes, like, fell into my fist like a couple times. I don't know.
He got up and slipped again and slipped again. Apparently, my fist was in an upward motion to help him out. I don't know. I don't know what happened. There's no. Yeah.
A lot of this stuff is due to mental illness. Like, there's people,
It 100% is.
and that's what people don't understand. Like, yes, I get it that they want to get these people help, but there's some people that are just so mentally ill. You watch these shows like 60 Days Lockup, you know, or these Locked Up, not Locked Up Abroad, but all these lockup shows where they show you the criminals inside and they talk. There are just people that are just mentally insane. And the problem is we've closed up these mental asylums because people were doing horrible things to these people who are mentally incapable of being in society. So you have bad people doing bad things to bad people, but you've closed these places up, and now these people can't get the help they really deserve or they need. You're putting them in jail. And now you have all these people who are mentally disturbed in a place together. Then they want to let them out?
Bring back the padded rooms.
I
had that as my
give my
green
tax
screen
dollars for that.
background for a little bit. All right, I'm willing to put myself in here to do that shit. Bring back the padded. I'm probably gonna have to bring that back as a background.
But I'm fine with giving my tax dollars to that. I'm good with that. Bring back the mental institutions. You know, have it run by. I can't even say government run, because you just. Anytime I think of healthcare and government run, I think of the VA, and it's just.
Hold up, we do have to regulate that a little bit, because we don't want another fucking Kellogg dude running a mental institution. You know the story behind that, right?
I'm going to have to watch a documentary now. Who?
Dude, cornflakes was invented by Kellogg, who was trying to stop people from masturbating. Look that shit the fuck up. I'm not even playing. That's how cornflakes came into thing. It was just like the corn meals and everything were going bad. You know, they were molding, so they just literally laid them out into a sheet and crushed them up, and that's how cornflakes came into thing. And the dude's just like, hey, this stops people from masturbating. It's cool. Now it's your breakfast cereal.
They're just doing this with the corn. That's amazing.
I swear to God, I'm not even trying to make anything. Look that shit up. It's fucking. It's 100%. It's great. It's hilarious. You'll love it. But then you're gonna start thinking these motherfuckers were masturbating into my fucking cornflakes.
You have just wrecked my favorite cookie that my wife makes with cornflakes. It's a no-bake cookie. She puts cornflakes and butterscotch and peanut butter all together. Now, with the masturbation of peanut butter and cornflakes, that's all I'm going to think of as I'm eating my delicious cookie now.
Tell her to use oatmeal. But no, that's how actually cornflakes came into thing. Mr. Kellogg, he was the owner of a mental asylum, or he ran a mental asylum, and the cornmeal was going bad, so he had his people literally lay them out in sheets, flatten it all down, cook it up, break it up, and that's how cornflakes became your breakfast cereal. And this motherfucker thought it stopped people from masturbating. Yes. All right. Certification standards of the Safe-TAct also overhauls the police certification and decertification process that provides more power to the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board, which oversees training and grants programs for law enforcement and correctional officers throughout the state. Follow-up legislation push back the effective date of the classification and decertification system January January 1st, 2022 to July 1st, 2022. Safety-TAct creates a certification system placing law enforcement officers into these categories: active, inactive, and decertified. This sounds okay so far. Those with active certification can be legally employed at any Illinois agency in law enforcement capacity. I'm hoping that involves prisons. The provision provides whatever, more discretionary authority to decertify officers for unethical or unprofessional conduct that would not rise to the level of felony. We've got problems with that. Law enforcement agencies will be required to hire only certified officers. Okay, so
Ossifers.
Yeah, so we did certify ossifers for arresting a black man.
Okay.
I mean, that's what they were doing with the whole defund the police kind of shit. So people can firebomb 2 officers sitting in a police car, and they get decertified because they arrest the person that firebombed the car. Hold up. Slaughter said that before the Safe-TAct, the decertification process in Illinois severely lagged compared to other states that the state is trying to play catch-up. Prior to the Safe-TAct, an officer's certificate could be revoked upon conviction of a felony under the certain misdemeanors of a limited list of decertified misdemeanors, including theft, bribery, harassment, witnesses, or harassment of witnesses or jurors, or using deceptive practices. Okay. I'm okay. I'm 100% okay with that. Because police do this shit. They do this shit. It's like in some places, especially like big cities like New York and shit like that, police do this shit. It is.
If you're looking for a good New York City police doing this shit documentary, the 5-7.
Yes.
Is a great one.
Yes, I watched that one. That is a great
That
one.
was amazing. The guy's like, I was just a criminal that became a cop. It was like, yes, you were.
Safe-TAct also allows for anonymous complaints against police officers and removes the requirement that officers under investigation must be informed of the complaints' names or officers in charge of the investigation. That's everywhere, and that is already fucking law. That is okay. In an interview, Rep. Patrick Windhorst. Now, that is a thing for everybody out there. That is a thing for anybody that's being detained or anything like that. Yes, the officer must give his badge or name and badge number if you request it. If not, they have already broken the law. Therefore, everything that they are doing is null and void. And that's just 1 out of, say, 3 officers are there. If 1 doesn't do it, null and fucking void. The fact that they're actually investigating and looking into that shit, you do have the right to know what officer, badge number, everything. That is country fucking wide already. In an interview, Rep. Patrick Windhorst, who was a former prosecutor, said that the new certification portion may have a positive impact, but one potential negative consequence is individuals using the anonymous complaint process to try to impact the criminal case. Yeah, I can see how that would be a thing. Anonymous complaints all the damn time.
I like the red flag laws.
Well, red flag laws, swatting. Opponents of the legislation have also claimed that it is causing low morale among the law enforcement and that more needs to be done to address the growing need for officers to keep communities safe. Causing low morale? How about you just motherfuckers just not use your badge as a way to say, fuck you, I can do whatever you want. I can do whatever I want.
I truly believe that cops should live in the community. I think politicians should live in the community that they serve. I think, community policing is a good thing, or, the government officials should have to face the people and live amongst the people when they're making these laws. And I guarantee you, all these cities and all these Democrat-run places. I mean, look at Maxine Waters. She doesn't even live. She lives an hour away from where she the representative of.
Yep.
So, these people should have to live like the Super with Joe Pesci. Ever see that movie?
Yes.
That's what they should be forced to live in the community.
Yes.
And live amongst the people, and the people should have a say, and they should be able to go up to, like, I don't like the fact that all these politicians have cops and law enforcement all around them, and you can't touch them like they're some kind of gods, so they can do whatever they want.
Do me a favor. Expand on this a little bit more. Keep going. I gotta go to the bathroom.
I gotta go soon, sir.
Oh, shit. Let me take a piss real quick then.
But yeah, I mean, you can't hold somebody accountable if they don't live literally where you can face them and talk to them. Like, the threat of violence shouldn't occur to anybody to be violent against any of these people. But if you're out at McDonald's, you should be able to approach somebody and be like, "Hey, why did you enact this? Why did you do this?" Like, a perfect example is the the ACA, American Care Act, where they were telling everybody that they have to get this kind of insurance, the governmental insurance, if they don't have insurance. Yet they excused themselves for it. They didn't have to get that insurance, but they forced everybody else to get it. They were allowed to keep their insurance, and everybody got screwed. So I think anything that these people enact, they should absolutely have to follow through and do themselves. If they want to defund the police, then yeah, they defund the police and they defund their own security. They shouldn't be allowed to, as that one lady who was calling for defunding the police and then had $70,000 worth of police security around her at all times. It's unfair, and they think that they're so much above Bush. What's her name?
Cori Bush. Yes.
Cori Bush.
By the way, your other half is in the chat. He said, yo, talk to me, Davey.
What up, Scotty boy? What up, Max Redwood?
But yeah, I do agree. They need to live in that area. But then again, it's also they get so much damn money, they could just have everybody else do anything while they stay at home, be hermits kind of thing. You never really see them until they have to do some kind of public outreach kind of situation. They need to be publicly accessible, just like the rest of us.
Yeah, like I said, you need to be able to go to McDonald's and see your representative and just have a conversation with them. And there's no need to be violent. There's no need to get up in people's faces. Just civil. Hey, well, what's with this? With this new law? What's with the Safe-TAct? What makes you think that's good? What part of it is good to you? And answer the fucking question. How about that? That too. That aggravates me too. When they circle around everything. In 1742, when this law was no, I don't want to. Why is the Safe-TAct good? Why do you think the Safe-TAct is good?
Yeah, stop running from the fucking question. What about this is good? Why is this a thing to me? Stop with the history lessons. Stop just trying to beat around the bush. Just fucking tell me. But there is something here. Law also requires officers to complete 30 hours of training every 3 years, consisting on hands-on scenario-based training, use of force techniques, and de-escalation, officer safety, and high-risk traffic stops. I agree with that. 30 hours every 3 years, maybe 30 hours a year.
Year, yeah.
Because shit changes. Yeah.
Maybe a whole week. maybe not a abbreviated version.
Maybe one officer every week gets trained. One-on-one, y'all motherfuckers do your thing for a whole damn week. If you don't pass, get the fuck out. Let's see. Use of force, though. Let's see. Safe-TAct also changed the use of force standards by allowing deadly force when necessary for officers to defend themselves from bodily harm. If a suspect is attempting to escape, officers are only authorized to use deadly force if that person is likely to harm others and cannot be caught at a later time. Okay, so what was that dude that the officer shot in a Wendy's parking lot because he was drunk behind the wheel? What was his name? You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that, but I don't remember the guy's name.
I don't remember his
The,
name
the,
either.
the guy was driving towards the cop, and the cop unloaded.
No. I'm talking about the one where he was cordial with the officer until he's just like, "Hey, I need somebody to give this dude a DUI because I'm not certified for that." And the dude's just come up and, "Are you drunk?" He wrestles with the cop, two fucking cops, literally wrestles them, takes the taser, starts running away, points the taser behind him, fires it, and then they unload.
Was that the African dude?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know if it was fully like he was. I
think-
know he was a black dude, but
I remember he was African, and yeah, he was. No, I'm pretty sure it was one cop.
the next
He
day
was
they
asking him.
it was one cop that brought it up, but he had to bring another officer in because he wasn't certified in doing like DUI stops or anything like that. So he had to bring somebody else in. But yeah, the dude fired the taser randomly, just pointed and just fired. Like, are you sitting there? Okay, you get hit with a taser. I've been hit with tasers; they fucking hurt. But if you get hit, say like the heart or the head, you're just randomly shooting. What? Okay, you hit a random bystander that's in the fucking parking lot at Wendy's. Okay, that falls under that. That is use of deadly force. Then the dude's doing that. Okay. It also banned the use of chokeholds and other applications that restrict breathing from being applied above the chest unless an officer is in a situation that authorizes deadly force. George Floyd incident. There is a lot of arguments still around that, and I get a lot of that too.
Gardner.
Yeah, that one too. But Wojcicki noted the two follow-up bill address concerns surrounding the use of stun guns, chokeholds, pepper spray, and tear gas. Stun guns? Yeah. You hit them in the wrong spot, they're climbing a fence, you stun them, they fall off, they could hit their head. I get that. Okay. Pepper spray? Nah, fuck that. Unless I'm spraying directly into your mouth or up your nose, there's no way pepper spray is going to do any damage. Unless you got some kind of breathing problems, which how am I going to fucking know? Anyway, you shouldn't be trying to fight with me if you have a breathing problem.
How spicy you want it.
Right. I've accidentally sprayed myself with pepper spray. I know how that shit goes. The original bill prevented stun guns from being aimed at someone's back. Great. Okay. I'm okay with that. But Wojcicki said that the back is recommended target and that hitting them in front could inadvertently hit the heart. Granted. But you could also inadvertently hurt the head if you shoot them in the back and they seize up. Because you're leaning forward anyway. But yeah.
You know what stops all this though?
What?
The whole thing.
Stop breaking the law, asshole.
That's all. Exactly. Exactly. That would avoid all of this if you just didn't break the law. Are there laws that could be changed so you're not breaking the laws? Absolutely. But stop breaking the law.
Right.
That's all. Like I said, I got pulled over today. You know what I didn't say? Why'd you pull me over? What is this about? Is it because I'm darker than you? Is it because I have new plates? Is it because I have a nice car in a white neighborhood? No. I went, I'm sorry, officer. My bad. And he went, listen, be careful. There's deer. Have a wonderful day.
Me and a coworker of mine got pulled over in our company vehicle, and the cop literally just walked up and he's just like, "Yeah, I pulled you over because you were following too close." And he's just like giving up all his information. The cop literally said to us, and I did have it on recording because I do that. But the cop literally said to us, "Yeah, I was gonna pull over the person in front of you for not having a tag, but then I saw you were following too close, and there was a 2.5 car length between us and the other person in front of us." And I was just like, dude, don't even worry about this ticket. When we went to court and everything, like I had brought in the video and everything, and I'd given the video and a signed testimony of me where I was saying, The cop literally said that he was going to pull over somebody that did not have a tag. Now, who's a bigger threat? Somebody that's maybe following too close, questionable, or somebody that doesn't have a tag that shouldn't be on the road in the first damn place? And he got off scot-free. But there is one thing in here that I do want to point out that I just read that I'm okay with. I really am. The law also creates a duty to intervene when another officer is using excessive force and a duty to provide medical assistance to those who are injured. Grant, yes, it should be a thing across the board, and it most likely is most places. So why does that have to be addressed? Well, one of the reasons why we should not just carte blanche back the blue. I mean, there are some places, some things that you should, yes, 100%, but there are a lot of things where we should not. Because these motherfuckers are human. They're going to lie. But yeah, there is more to this. Body cameras, of course, 100% agree with and everything. They should never be able to turn them things on. As soon as they are clipped on, it should never be able to be turned off until they hung. As soon as they come off the cradle to charge, they should never be able to be turned off by the officers themselves. Which means they need to at least last 8 to 12 hours with the battery life. I agree with that 100%. I don't care if you got 6 hours of the cop just sitting there jerking off in a car. I don't care. As long as they're still running. And that is
pay for that.
And all recordings are made 100% public. But yeah, we have a little bit more, but we're a little over 2 hours now. You got to get something to eat.
I'm dying over here.
It's the weekend for me. I got to go out of town next week. So yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stay up.
I gotta work. I gotta work in the morning too, because I gotta do that. But this was definitely fun.
Final thoughts on this shit, dude. What you think about all this?
We're fucked.
You don't have to give me a little bit more than that. Come on. This is only in Illinois.
Yeah, but it starts in Illinois. You know, it starts somewhere, and then somebody else gets a bug, and then they start to do this in other states, and then they start to do this in other states, and before you know it, it goes up to the president, and now the president's deciding that everybody should do all this, and then everybody should. Executive order. That second-degree murder is no longer cash bail. Because this poor person, didn't know the difference between right and wrong, but we're going into the wrong direction, and it sucks to see. I mean, you think people who were talking about the virus and it being a certain thing, you think people wanted to be right about it? You think people wanted to be right about that maybe these shots are going to actually cause harm to people? No. People didn't want to be right about it. People don't want to be right about this. People just want to go and live their life as best they can. They want to have the best time. They don't want to have to worry about being murdered in the street. They don't want to have to be worried about, somebody coming up and killing them. They shouldn't have to be worried about that.
Yeah.
And that person getting off scot-free, or sitting there watching the murderer of your brother or sister just get off, and then going around and killing somebody and going, see, you should have kept him in. But
right.
But we're going into the way of everybody wants to just, you want to out-left the left, you want to out-right the right, and that's the problem. Everybody wants it to be so, and that's the thing, it's not everybody. No. If you talk to most people who are on TikTok screaming, left-wing ideology or right-wing ideology, if you, for the most part, talk to 90% of them, they're going to tell you, yeah, there's a middle ground, and maybe we need more policing, but maybe we also need more police accountability. There's a lot more people that will agree with each other, But the problem is that once everybody gets into this group mentality, that's where the problem is. That's when you start to, no, all black people are lazy. All white people are bad. All white people are colonizers. All black people are criminals,
Modern
and then,
warrior.
yeah, but you get that in a group mentality. And unfortunately, that's the loudest, those are the loudest people.
Yeah.
And if we just live your life, man. That's what I did, especially during the pandemic, man. I lived my life. I went and I traveled. I met my wife. I actually thank God for the pandemic. It worked out for me very, very well, and it wouldn't have happened if I did everything the government told me to do. If I didn't just live my life. And if you just live your life the way you see fit, and don't bother anybody else's life. Don't try to talk people into things. I say that on our podcast. I said it, when you guys were on. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here just to maybe have you think a little bit differently and maybe look into something. Maybe, hey, maybe you were right about this. Maybe I was. Maybe I was lying. Maybe I was, I say it all the time. I don't know if this is true, but hey, it could be. That's what happened with this story.
Right.
I was talking to my co-host and I was like, hey, did you see this? And he's like, oh, no, I don't think. And then he's like, oh, man, no, it's really happening. I was like, I was right? Never happens. But like I say, I'm a half a dum-dum. So if I could just make you maybe even think about looking into something, then I've done my job, whether or not you agree with me or not.
Right.
That's it. I'm going to go eat something before I die and commit my own second-degree murder on myself.
All right. And I agree with you. This is why we are here as well. My final thoughts. Are we heading really back into the Wild West kind of days? Because this is what it's looking like. We are literally taking a step back in society. Not a step. We are taking a giant fucking leap. But yes, I agree with you on this, and it is disturbing as hell that we are doing this. But yes, this is why we are here, ladies. Both the voice of the people here, Business Party Podcast. Y'all reach out to them too. We are here. We want to talk to you. We don't want to change your mind on anything. We just want to hear what you got to say. We want your voice to get out there. Maybe have you think differently. Challenge us. Have us think differently as well. This is why we're here. We want to reach that middle ground. Ladies and gentlemen, smash that like button. Give this man a follow. Business Party Podcast on YouTube. Give them a follow as well. I'm going to leave you with this. You have a voice. It is important. Please, sit down. Let's talk. Y'all take it easy. Have a good night.